ain't letting Cable kill this kid. We're gonna form a super duper group.
Our group will be forward thinking, gender neutral. We will be known as X-Force.
Isn't that a little derivative?
You're absolutely right.
Don't call it a comeback! I don't know much about this Cable fella, but I guarantee he hasn't killed as many people as Melanoma has.
Paul, zip it!
My name's Peter.
Hey everybody, it's me, Roy the Movie Guy, and I got another great podcast for you. With me, as always, is
Joe B.
And today we're going to be talking about the brand new Marvel, not Marvel Studios movie, but Marvel from Fox, Deadpool 2, starring Ryan Reynolds, and of course, Josh Brolin as Cable.
Uh-oh, Cable in the house.
Now, before we get into this movie, me and Joe would just like to thank every single person who viewed our Avengers Infinity War review talk prior to seeing the movie. I've already seen the movie 3 times, and it just keeps getting better every time I see it. This is going to be the summer of Josh Brolin being, of course, Thanos, and now he's Cable in Deadpool 2. I also would like to thank our now, I believe is it 43 subscribers?
Yeah.
We jumped from 31 to 43. I'm just amazed and just beside myself, especially with, I think we topped out at like 589, I think.
That's really awesome for us. So.
Yeah, that's the
awesome.
most viewed thing ever for us. And I want to thank Marvel and Disney, of course, because it was over Avengers. And everybody was trying to hear any type of Avengers Infinity War news. You know, we're not going to say anything about Avengers Infinity War, obviously, with spoilers and stuff like that. Even though there's already spoiler reviews, we're not going to do one of those because it's already been beaten to death. Go out and see the movie. Now, with that all out of the way, let's jump into Deadpool 2. So, Joe, have you seen the first Deadpool?
Yes.
What was your take on the first Deadpool that you saw?
I mean, it was entertaining, definitely, yeah.
Was it funny for you?
Yeah, it was good.
Obviously, it was a better depiction of the character than in the
Yes.
X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yes, better, good depiction. Ryan Reynolds is good as Deadpool.
And the first one was like the highest grossing R-rated movie, I want to say, of all time. I believe that's true.
Wait, more than Nightmare on Elm Street?
Obviously, more than I don't think Nightmare on Elm Street made over $100 million.
It should have
back then.
It should have.
Now obviously it's a classic horror movie. It scared me when I was a kid. And I guess you could say that Ryan Reynolds, in a way, he has like a burnt up face, kind of like a Freddy Krueger behind the mask.
There's a connection there. There's a slight connection.
There you go. So all I can say this time around, it has to center around some kind of kid that Deadpool has to protect for some reason. It looks like he's forming the X-Force group in this. I see that Terry Crews is also in the movie. It looks like Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead, which is a mouthful to say,
yes,
kind of a name.
Is. It is.
I almost feel like that name is unnecessary.
Oh, it really is. It really is necessary.
You got TJ Miller that's back in the second one also, and there's a lot of controversy around him right now, with him kind of just going off the deep end of crazy a little bit, but I guess we'll see. Like, I heard that he called in a bomb threat on a train because he was arguing with some girl and he was mad, so he decided to call in a bomb threat on the train that she was on, which, I don't see what that would do to...
I guess it'll make a bunch of confusion and make her late to somewhere and all that. And
yeah, or scare her, I guess.
And make everyone else on the train late, or, just ruin everyone's day, basically.
I guess. So, like I said, you got Josh Brolin playing the role of Cable, and at first I thought Cable was Cable a bad guy? I thought Cable was a good guy, but it looks like he's a bad guy.
He's on the
fence?
Yeah, he's on the fence. He's one of those
now, in the comics, he's the son of Scott Summers? Is that right?
I do not remember.
I'm not like you. Like we talked about in the Avengers one, I'm not a comic book enthusiast. I don't read a lot of comics, but I do remember that, if I remember correctly, Cable is related in some way to Scott Summers, I thought. Cyclops.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, please tell us in the comments below.
See, I get my canon confused between the movies and the video games and the comics now. It's hard for me to remember anything.
I always thought that if you have Cable in a movie, you got to have Bishop. When I first saw Terry Crews, I thought, is he going to be Bishop? But then Bishop has like a Jerry curl kind of look to him.
He got to have a Jerry curl.
He got to have the Jerry curl, man. He's got to have the Jerry curl.
In the future, the Jerry curl came back, apparently.
Yeah, exactly, because he's from the future as well. Yeah. But yeah, man, this has got to be the summer of, like I said, of Josh Brolin. First, you're Thanos in the biggest movie of all time right now, or going to be one of the biggest movies of all time. Deadpool 2, where he's playing Cable, so that's another character for him to kick ass and take names, and he looks really good. And you got all the trailers, the one thing I could say about the Deadpool movies is the marketing is very clever, very good. And have you had a favorite that you've seen, like with him as either Bob Ross or...
The Bob Ross had to be my favorite. Yeah.
And like right now, the latest one that I saw where he makes a Thanos reference. He tells Cable, bring it on One-Eyed Willie, which we all know he was from the Goonies, and One-Eyed Willie being that was the Goonies reference. I remember when I was in theaters and they showed that trailer, and there was a guy like up towards the front. I was up in the balcony seeing the Infinity War, and the scene where he said the One-Eyed Willie, the guy was like and clapping his hands like hysterically when he made that One-Eyed Willie reference. Like it was unnecessary for me in a way, but just he was just laughing too hard at that joke, even though yes, it was clever and funny, but it wasn't that funny in my opinion. In the theater I went to also, they had 2 different types of drinks for themes. They do like a drink theme for every type of big movie that they consider that's going to be a big movie that they have part of their drink menu. And the drink that they did, I don't have the card on me, but it was the Thanos. They had the Thanos drink and they had the Star-Lord drink. Out of all of the characters in the movie, they went with Star-Lord, and they have, of course, Thanos being the main, what did we just say, antagonist?
Yeah.
I said that right. The main antagonist in the movie was Thanos, and they made a drink for the Thanos. I don't remember what's in it, but I did try the Star-Lord a bunch of times, as much as they would give you. It's like a 2-drink minimum anyway, but 32-ounce drink, very delicious. And they also had some cocktail mix like called the Purple Planet Crusher or Moon Crusher or whatever, and just different themes because of everything that goes on in the movie. So yeah, very, very cool. So I can't wait to see what kind of drink thing they're going to do for Deadpool, if they're going to have one that's called the Cable, you know what I mean? Which is, you know what I mean? Cable. And they'll just make up something that has with a mix of Sprite or something like that.
Sprite and something silver.
Sprite, razzmatazz, and grenadine, and something whatever, Corico.
Yeah, there you go. Put some of that Corico in there.
Exactly. There's only so many drinks that they can do anyway. So I think Deadpool 2, in my opinion, is going to make a lot of money, but for some reason, and I could be totally wrong, I don't think it's going to make as much as the first one, only because it's so crowded with movies, because right after Deadpool comes out, the new Star Wars Solo movie comes out a week after that one.
Whoa, another?
Right after that. And that one's tracking big money, so who knows? I could be totally wrong. Let's say Deadpool does about $180 million opening weekend. And then the following weekend it does half that. So it's already probably, you know what? It might make more than the first one. Who knows?
It could.
I'm just thinking it's so crowded. I don't know if it would or not.
If there's enough money out there and tickets right now,
it'll be definitely interesting. Let me ask you this. Who's going to make more money? Deadpool 2 or Solo, a Star Wars movie?
I would hope Deadpool would, but probably Star Wars. Because Disney, they know
because it's Star Wars and there's more Star Wars fans than Deadpool fans?
They know how to get money. But maybe there might be some Star Wars fatigue going on. We'll find out.
I guess we will. Because
I heard about some of that creeping up. Star Wars fatigue, maybe.
Yeah, when you make too many movies of the same franchise too fast, you could oversaturate it and people will be like, I'm going to move on.
Yeah.
But you never know. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. That's all I got for Deadpool 2. That's all Joe has for Deadpool 2. Unless there's anything else you want to mention. Are we good?
I say we're good.
All right. With that, I am Roy, the movie guy. With me, as always, is
Joe B.
And you will hear us on another podcast. Stay chill. Stay awesome.